Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Patch Notes review by Grars, and my co-host isn't here, so I'm only one in the tub right now. But don't worry, my co-host will show up eventually. All right. Did anything change for Featherfan? Do you guys know if anything changed for Featherfan? Let's go take a look. I don't think there's anything that changed for Featherfan. Nothing changed, right? Same? I think it's the same. I don't remember anything that changed for them. Right, nothing changed for Featherfan, right? So Featherfan is essentially still the same. I don't think there's anything here that changed for Featherfan. Yeah. Status effect, nothing changed here. Okay, so excuse me. Right. So Featherfan is exactly the same. Let's get rid of this. So Featherfan, you go here. Exactly the same, nothing changed. How about Bleed? Bleed got buffed, but how did Bleed get buffed exactly? There's a lot of stuff that changed for Bleed. What happened to the thing? There's quite a few changes for Bleed. Number one, which card was it? Bleed. Okay, so Dual Blade. There's quite a few actually. There's five mentions of Bleed. So for Dual Blade, for Scarab, for Iguana, they all now apply additional Grievous Wound on targets with greater than 8. In Rare, is it possible to get more than 8 bleed?
No.
So this is mostly an epic change. Epic era change. Where did... okay, Scarab, Iguana, Cerasti. Cerasti says... It always had bleed. So I don't think it changed much there. Okay, so...
It changed from 15 shield to 12 shield.
Okay, on Reckless Hunter, it also changed. So it got buffed. Instead of on 6 bleed, it applies a Grievous. It now applies on 5. And then the level 4 version, the Mystic version, if you have more than 3 bleed, you get Grievous Wound by the Reckless Hunter every time. CatGill. Alright, is
So CatGill got a slight nerf because of the change to
Really?
The Way of the Aqua. You minus 1
Oh, right. You're right about... Okay, let's see. Way of Aqua. Way of Aquatic. It got nerfed. Wait, this is only level 4 though.
Yep.
Way of Aqua level 3 is... Oh, it's always been +2. It only became +3 on level 4. So this is season 11 patch notes. So Way of Aqua level 3 has always been +2. And Bubble Bomb... Way of Aqua level 4 makes it 3 bubbles. So now it's been nerfed. Way of Aqua level 4 will only be 2. But the rare versions level 1 to 3 is completely unchanged. So this is just a direct -1. This is a 33% nerf. Is this a big enough change to make CatGill like bad? I don't think so, right? I mean, obviously it's weaker, but I think it's still going to be good, right?
Yes, it's still going to be good, but the changes is there. It's enough.
Leafy got buffed. They changed it so that there's about 3.
Huge buff. It is 9 damage
Yep.
per leaf, so you get 27 bonus, bro.
And this is on top of whatever bonus damage you can also get on top of it, right? So this is not just +3 damage.
Huge change.
Huge change. I don't know the exact math. All I know is that if you have Shrimp, if you use Leafy twice, that actually is probably gonna die. Highly likely it's gonna die, unless it has defensive abilities or shields. What are the chances the Pocky Shrimp combo comes back? Pretty good, right? Pocky Shrimp might come back. Anyway, Pocky Leafy.
No.
Pocky Leafy, sorry.
I don't think Pocky Leafy might come back, but Pocky Shrimp I don't think it's gonna come back.
Yeah, it's too much.
Because Shrimp already got a buff. Now it's 3 turn.
Oh, you're right, because you don't need 2 of it.
Yep.
And there's no way to cleanse
No.
Taunt. There's no way to remove Taunt because it's a buff.
If you get hit by a Shrimp plus, you're you're taunted for 2 turns.
Yeah. The only way to mitigate that is if you have if you taunt on another Axie that you control. That's the only way to stop it. Well, not really stop, but mitigate the damage. But you know, they can still hit all 3 on the same guy. So, but yeah, Leafy got buffed. All right. Next, Topaz. Oh my god, this should be like...
The buff depends on if the Axie can kill the other Axie, right? If it doesn't kill, it doesn't matter. There's no trample damage either way.
That's true, but Topaz has always been that card that always feels bad to use. If you're hitting like Like, if someone puts a Mavis or a Robin on the front and you have to hit the Topaz with it, it always feels bad. Right?
But that's why you have a Blood Beetle with AoE.
That's true, but you're right. Blood Beetle with AoE. But can Topaz really fit in one of those?
Yes. Because most Topaz FAs, example from Hermon TV, he used Blood Beetle with a Cupid on the back to counter both Summon and Jar at the same time.
Dang, that's really good. That's actually really good. Topaz is fast hyper aggro. It is now. I mean, they've always been. Okay, so what overkill damage, Michael, is? It means that if you kill something, for example, there is an Axie on the front that has 100 HP, and you have 120 damage. The 100 damage goes to the front Axie, and the remaining 20 damage goes over to the next guy. Overkill damage is that the over damage or the damage that goes up essentially nowhere is now transferred to something else. Right, so Topaz now can overkill, which is good because I think Topaz is the only card that has that.
Topaz team is not optimized that much yet. The only one that's optimizing Topaz is Hermon TV, right? Because the rest is not really optimized. So he knows the
ins and outs
of Topaz, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna have a lot of like buff here.
Oh, for sure. He's gonna be
maybe in the top 100 constantly.
Yeah.
They're just testing the water with Topaz, I think.
Yeah. It might show up as a charm or rune later on. And maybe it's a neutral, maybe you get it from PvE or something like the current neutral charms, like the alien, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, that kind of thing. Alright, Owl. Owl did not get buffed directly. Owl did not get buffed directly. The reason is nothing directly related to Owls got changed, but we have this. We have Lens of Truth. Lens of Truth has been changed. So the Lens of Truth on targets without secrets deal plus 25% damage and apply to fragile. And then Lens of Truth Mystic has been changed. It now deals pure damage on targets with fragile. Now, as an Owl player, the biggest weakness of Owl teams has always been shield teams. Like, if you don't have a morphable Owl that can have a gerbil tail, you will always lose to teams that have guard. It's always been 25. It's always been 25, Michael. So, the biggest change here is that the fragile. So fragile got buffed on Lens of Truth level 3, and then if the target has fragile, the attacks also deal pure damage on top of it. So Lens of Truth is like a shield killer mech rune. Now, is it good? We don't know yet, because my mech owls are still in the oven. They're not ready yet, but this is a good change for Lens of Truth. It has its own niche now. It has its own identity, but we'll have to see if it's a benefit to owls or not. So I would say owls didn't get changed at all. I would put owls here, so it's basically the same. Anemone, what did change for Anemone, guys? Did Anemone change at all? I mean, it's a nerf, but is it that big of a change for Anemone?
Most likely it's still at the normal state, right?
Yeah, like I don't think losing one. Oh, okay. So obviously losing one bubble every turn is a big deal, right? I'm not saying it's not.
Is it every turn?
Yes, it's every turn. So instead of getting one free bubble every other turn, well, no, it's still the same. So before you get one free bubble and a bubble bomb. Oh no, 2 bubbles. Wait, no, I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure. Did anything really change for it? This is the only thing that changed, right? -1 bubble on Way of Aqua level 4. Right? Nothing really changed. I don't think it actually changed.
Oh wait, can you go back to Way of the Aqua?
Sure.
Attacks when this Axie game bubble bomb plus 2 bubble bomb.
I don't think really. I don't think it changes all that much. Obviously, it does less damage overall, but I don't think Anemone relied on that bubble damage all that much. I don't think it changed all that much. Like, no cards change. You know what? Let's just put it on same. You know what? We put CatGill down here, so let's be fair and put it down here too. Right? All right. Carrot teams. Did anything change for carrot teams? I don't think so. Did I miss anything, guys? I don't think anything changed for carrot, right? Yeah, I don't think any change for carrot. Yeah, no changes for carrot teams. So just for completion's sake, this is what carrot teams look like. But this is a mystic team, and you need to have mystic stuff. Well, not really all mystic stuff, but let's see if we can find a carrot team. All right, so what these teams do, this is a mystic team. They get healing from this. They have healing from their clovers. They have healing from their healing force. They have healing from all different sources, so that their carrots do like 130 base damage or something silly like that. So that's what carrot teams do. So they're pretty popular. Like even the top players in final year, some of them have carrots, like this guy. Like Guide's team has a carrot, and this is John's team also has carrots. Right, and they also showed it in Elite 8, so the carrots actually did some good damage later on. So I think carrots are basically the same. Put it over here. Bubble teams. Is Way of Aqua really that big of a nerf, Mr. Davi? What do you think?
Like I'm looking at the way of the Aqua, right? It looks kind of weird how they state it. Can you go back to the way of the Aqua?
Sure.
Because it says, right? Can you see? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
They say when the battle starts and once per battle,
once per
this
turn,
actually gains bubble bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, +2 bubble. So like you will affect CatGill and Sponge by a lot, right? Because when you gain bubble, when you gain a bubble bomb, you get bubble for free.
Oh.
So
yeah.
-1 for like bubble is huge, right? This gonna affect the amount you get from the amount of bubble bomb you get overall.
That's true. That's fair. So they did get nerfed. It's just the gravity of the nerf isn't as big as something like the Gloomy Dice nerf. There's like different levels to the nerf.
Yes. Depending on the team, right? If the team utilize bubble bomb more, means the nerf will be bigger. Like Catfish Gill and normal bubble team will feel this nerf harder.
That's
because
true.
They won't generate bubble bomb faster.
That's true. Alright then, let's put bubbles like nerf. All these three teams are down here just because of Way of Aqua.
Not sure about Anemone though. Like I don't understand how the card work. If I remember correctly, last time Way of Aqua, when your turn starts, you get bubble, right?
Okay, so these like.
But now it stated that when you get bubble bomb, you get bubbles instead. So I'm not sure how it works now.
Okay, so Anemone
doesn't generate bubble bomb, so
they sometimes utilize with the bubble pastes. They get it, but it's not the focus of the build. Yeah, so let's just put it down here. Let's put it down here, because it's nerfed in a less way than these two are directly affected, right? Tiny Fan. What changed for Tiny Fan?
Energy shot. So it was turn 1 and turn 4. Now it's turn 1 and turn 5.
Oh, that's huge. That's a big deal.
You think it might be a huge deal, right? But most of the time, it's not really, bro. Because I faced a lot of Tiny Fan before, right? They will have good draws, right? Okay. So the only nerf they will get probably is towards Jinx, because you won't guarantee a draw anymore. But against other team,
it's still pretty much the same thing, right?
They will have clear, right? And in round 3, they will still burst to from 4 to 5. So like these changes doesn't really affect them.
If they're playing an optimal team, yes.
Yes, optimal team, they can clear, they get back the Nemos, and they will be able to burst from 4 to 5 in round 3. So regardless of round 4, they will still burst.
So what do you think? It's effectively the same thing?
Yes, it's effectively the same thing. Aside from Jinx. If they're up against Jinx, they might cuff the draw a bit.
Okay.
And maybe they have like 10 fragments, right? In round 3. And like 13 fragments, and they won't be able to burst.
Fair enough. All right, Koi. What changed for Koi? Did Koi even change?
I don't think
I
so.
feel like Koi is also in the same boat as the Way of Aqua change, but I don't think they rely on bubble bombs at all.
Yeah, they don't use Way of the Aqua.
Let's give this a good think. Did any change for Tiny Fan? Nothing, right? No change for Tiny Fan. No change in charms. No change in runes. So I guess they just stays the same.
Yes.
The only difference for Tiny Fan is that there might be less Jinx now.
Yes, because
Agreed.
of the urn change.
Yeah. There's going to be less of it, but effectively they're still the same, right? Perch is in the same boat as Koi. Nothing effectively changed.
That is true.
Wait, are they affected by the energy? Do Perch teams use energy shard? They sometimes
use
do.
Shard, but they won't go to round 4. They will always try to Perch before round 4.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll burst at round 2, and then Perch at round 3.
All of the Perch that we see here is like, it's a second win condition for Tiny Fan teams. There's no Perch team exclusively now. They all include Perch as a second win condition, right? So I guess you can say that Tiny Fan Perch got combined. Like, Tiny Fan by itself does not exist in Mystic anymore. Yeah, it's more a Tiny Fan for sure. It's like it is. It's second win condition. So based on that, what's our verdict here?
No changes.
Perch, no change, right?
Yep.
Yeah. AoE.
Most of the time for Tiny Fan Com, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they use Tiny Fan Perch, right? Let's say the energy shard is 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter because they won't use Perch, right? They only use Perch when it's like round 8.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. AoE. Did anything change for AoE?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But you know what? You see, this goes back to the Lens of Truth change. Because whatever Owl's weakness is, it's also the weakness of AoE. Because they're effectively the same general strategy. You know, multi-hits, like hit multiple targets and stuff. So AoE suffers from the same weaknesses as Owl teams do. So that Lens of Truth change might actually be good for AoE as well. And Mech AoE axes also exist, right? Because they have Rocket Barrage. Now, will AoE change to Lens of Truth? That remains to be seen. I'm inclined to put AoE on same because effectively nothing changed for them. Like, all of their current archetypes are the same, but the Lens of Truth change doesn't really apply directly to them, but it's a tool that they can use. So I'm inclined to put this on same. Jinx. Let's just put them here. Maybe a little bit bigger, but not the exaggerated way. All right, just a little bit bigger.
Right?
All right.
Okay.
Let's go over the patch notes.
The urn change is the biggest change to Jinx.
Yes.
This is a big change.
Go ahead, Mr. Davi.
Because right now teams are very fast, right? They apply Jinx urn to allow Jinx to have a competition against this very fast comp. But now they nerfed it, right? So now I don't think Jinx will stand a chance against Anemone and the rest of the aggro comp. And then another changes is the Gloomy Dice.
Oh, that's true.
3 axes, bro. They go to 2 axes, bro. Plus the minus the urn change, right? Against last season against Mystic Jinx, right? It was a 50-50, right? It depends. If they manage to remove your what is it called? The idols, right? But right now, you will apply less Jinx, and you might not even get confused on your axis. So like Gloomy Dice will Jinx will suffer a lot.
True.
So I think the 50-50 will goes to like 70-30, bro. Against normal comp.
Mr. Big Knees, if I recall correctly, you didn't play Season 11. The reason that you don't put it on initial cards is because Jellyfish is a thing. Let's go over here for you so you can see. Jellyfish is an insane charm. But granted, this is a Mystic charm. And Earn can be played in Rare and Epic. So in Rare and Epic, it's still effectively the same. It's just in Mystic that it's nerfed. All right. So Cursed Earn, what it does is move one curse card from discard pile to draw pile. This can be played after playing your initial, which is going to be the wait, no, Jellyfish? Jellyfish wasn't changed in season 11? Really?
No, it was season 10.
Really? Let's go over here. Okay, so in season 10, okay, Jellyfish. So if it's initial, you add one Jinx to the enemy draw pile. Otherwise, put it into the discard pile. Yeah, if they have more than 6 Jinx cards, add one bad luck. Counts as a curse. Now, this is very, very strong. So what people did in season 11 was they initial paralyzing Jellyfish. They put 2 curse cards in the draw. And then they use the Earn afterwards. So they use this Earn, so it effectively put 3 curse cards into the enemy draw on your turn. This is not counting the Gloomy Dice that probably put 2 or 3 cards in their turn. So in a turn, you can put 6 curse cards in the enemy draw pile. It is insane. That is why so many people lost to Jinx. So because of those potentially 6 curse cards in the enemy draw, everyone, literally everyone, needed to have a wooden idol.
How do you put 6?
3.
Two from Jellyfish.
2 from Jellyfish, 1 from Earn, and then
Earn.
potentially 3, up to 3 from Confused, from Gloomy Dice.
You're talking about Confused. Okay.
Yes, the Confused. What happens to Jinx? Season 11 version of Jinx in Mystic, only in Mystic, is dead. You cannot put 6 curse cards in the enemy draw anymore. At most, you can put... Because, yeah, effectively, Gloomy Dice can still put 2 or 3, right, on their turn. Maybe more if they use 0 costs. So let's just let's put the minimum amount, which is effectively 2. 2 curse cards and then 2 from Jellyfish. So you can only put 4, so Jinx cannot lock as easily anymore because 4 can be managed, 6 cannot, you know? Yeah, so I think we're good. I think we're good here. Yeah, Jinx, definitely nerf. And only in Mystic. In Rare and Epic, they're still effectively the same because you still have to initial the Earn, right? You can still initial the Earn in Rare and Epic. Okay, we're good. Okay, so Jinx definitely bigger than the others. It's not overly large, but yeah. Okay, so Confused effectively got nerfed too, but is Confused an archetype on its own?
It's not removed. They're still there because of the existence of what was the hot butts, right? So it basically luck hot butts, right? Because if you initial hot butt, there's a chance you put 2 in your draw or 2 in your discard pile. So it depends on luck.
But
if you're lucky, you can effectively put like 6 in 3 rounds.
You can also earn it now, I guess, since Jinx cards aren't as strong.
I guess you can earn it for a guarantee, at least 1 guarantee, right?
So is it... They effectively stay the same, right? Nothing really changed for them.
Gloomy Dice not nerfed. So basically, if Gloomy Dice not nerfed, any archetype for soul locking will get.
Wait, isn't this effectively a buff? Because it went from 2x to 4x to 2x to 5x, and then on level 3.
The damage is negligible. I don't really feel the damage, bro.
But okay.
I don't even understand how this works.
Yeah, the damage. You know what? It's still effectively the same thing. They get a little bit of a boost at level 3, but overall, it's like it evens out, right? Like
I don't think it evens out.
Is it still a nerf? You know what? Effectively, is a nerf because instead of fearing 3 axes all at once, you only fear 2. And based.
Lowers down confused.
Yeah.
If they lowers down the confused, right? You're confused. Do less damage.
The funny thing is, it says 2 random enemy axes, right? And this is the same description that multi-hit like Rosa and Kotaro have. So you can effectively put 10 fear on one guy. And if they have Bidens, they can remove all of that in one go.
Yes.
You know what? I'm convinced this is nerf. Confused, definitely nerf. Okay. Confused, you go back in the nerf pile. Right, Cocoon. What changed for Cocoon?
Changes.
Sandal. Did anything change for Sandal?
Celestial Might, check it.
Oh, you're right. Okay, let's go back here.
But I think level 3 Celestial Might is still the same, no?
Not sure actually. I don't remember anything that changed. Okay, so it got nerfed here, level 1. Level 2 minus 10%, right? Level 3, it's still the same.
One turn purify.
Uh-huh.
When your card is banished.
But that's only on level 3. No one really plays Celestial Might level 3.
What?
This effectively doesn't exist.
Celestial Might level 3 is for Sandal, no?
No, but if you play a card, it's banished.
Look at they are banished after being played twice. Celestial Might level 3.
Yes. Really?
So instead of 1 star,
oh,
you just get
you're
twice.
right. So they did buff it. They did buff it. Huh.
And then they get an addition for Purify. But Jinx is dead, so it doesn't really matter, right?
I wouldn't say that. People will still play Jinx regardless.
Sandal will have three idols because they have Sandals, bro.
Yeah, because they always want to put wooden idols on their sandals regardless, because it's really good value for them.
Yep.
Even if Jinx exists or not, it's like the wooden idols are so good.
So we can call the Purify negligible, but it is a buff, like a buff. Now they can go to level 3.
Yeah. Because level 3 sucked so much. Now it doesn't suck as much. Oh yeah, effectively, yeah.
So Sandal, if you're poor, it's a nerf for you, but if you're rich, it's a buff.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's one way of putting it. Wait a minute. Cocoon teams got buffed actually. Let's put this here. Go back to Cocoons. Let's go back to Cocoons for a little bit, guys. You want to know why? Because every secret card got buffed.
But Cocoon doesn't use secret.
What do you mean? They do. They use guard.
The only guard changes was Cerastus, right?
But yeah, that's still a buff. Effectively, it's still better than what it was.
I guess so.
Yeah, objectively better than what it was. I mean, now you can put you can tech in Scaly Spoon if you wanted to for the cleanse, right? You can tech in Pumpkin for the card draw. This got buffed as well, Kingfisher. It was specifically for the Leafy Man version.
1.5 shield is, I think it's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's like 25% more vengeance, so you're more likely to cap out if someone hits you very, very hard. Right? Wait, this doesn't have a cap.
It does.
I mean, the cap is 120 when you hit max when you max the vengeance, right? But on the hit itself, like if you get hit by a tiny fan, do you instantly get 120 vengeance stacks?
If you have the required amount of shield, right?
Yeah, I mean.
So you have 240 shield, you get the full vengeance stack. Right now you need 1.5. How much is that? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know, like 180.
Less than 240 now.
Yeah, 180 maybe.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, Timber. I don't think they'll ever use this, but Timber Topaz might be back. Timber Topaz might be back.
You have to hit 4 times though.
Not many teams can do that except Owls and AOE.
And AOE.
Wow.
CatGill as well.
Same for Watering Can. Can CatGill hit? I mean, they have AOE, right? So maybe, like, if they use, like, 2 AOE cards, that's effectively 6. So, yeah, they can cap it out as well. Bone Sail. Bone Sail might be interesting now because it lasts 3 turns now.
2 rounds.
Yeah, so two rounds effectively, yes. Same with Hatsune, but, you know, you have to be hit, so this won't work to everything. But the Purify is interesting though.
I think the Purify is negligible. They should put Cleanse instead of Purify.
I mean, they already have a Cleanse with Spoon. You gotta need some variety. Potato Leaf got buffed.
Instead of 3 sleep, it's 4 sleep. It's basically the same, except for Poison Team, where you can watermelon them now.
Yeah, exactly. You can watermelon on the second turn. Twin Tail. It's also a very effective. Like, Twin Tail is usable again. Like, secret removal, it might become the theme, because you know how in season 11 curse removal was the theme, right? And if you have an incense, you basically already have the counter, but secret removal is not included in incense, so people might have to tech the magnifying glass. What's the magnifying glass called? I forgot what it was.
It's called magnifying glass, I think. I don't know.
Is it actually called you know what, let's open up the game. Fishknack, apply for weak. And if I recall correctly, this also counts for glare.
Yeah, but no one's gonna use it over Potato Leaf, yeah. It's just...
What do you call that?
It's just that tail slot is... There's too many good tail slot cards.
That's
bro.
true. Gravel Ant, 6 Fear now. Pupae. Cleanse 2 now. No one uses it though. No one uses it. But here, you have the Cleanse.
Yeah, but 2. You can't even cleanse away... You can't even cleanse away Deathmark.
It helps though, but yeah, it's not really... This is Cleanse, not Cleanser. It's... yeah. Cerastes got really good. Cerastes now requires 12 shield loss instead of 15. It's really... That's a huge buff. Well, not huge. It's a good buff. It's definitely a buff. Any other shield cards that we need? Incisor? No, that's completely different.
So basically, like, Cocoon is benefiting from Kingfisher and Cerastes buff?
Yes. So, it's definitely buff. Yeah, so Cocoon teams... Cocoon team. Metamorphosis is also up there, right? Let's put this up here now. We don't have enough space.
Pulse. Where's Healing Pulse as well? Put it there.
Healing Pulse? Really?
Yeah, Healing Pulse is Kingfisher as well.
Really? Greedy Leech!
Yeah, definitely enough. So we're gonna see implementation of Caterpillar now.
Caterpillar.
Probably.
Oh, right, because they need to spread the AoE fear. Alright, before we continue, neutral charm. Oh, wait, why am I?
Magnifying glass.
Yeah. Is it actually called Magnifying Glass? It's Lens of Revelation. Yeah. It's only for single target attacks, so you can't put this on an AoE and AoE cleanse, right? AoE
So
secret removal.
We're gonna see implementation, bro. AoEs are probably gonna go for Acro and Jobel.
True. Very possible. Alright. Mavis teams, did anything change for Mavis teams?
No.
I don't think so either.
If you're talking about the miracle, what's
the flock, healing force, Mavis stuff.
No. You can say it's a buff if you want to, right?
Destiny Leaf was not... I mean, it was used, but it didn't really perform all that well. Like, the best one was rank 400, right? But maybe it might get used now in Rare and Epic. Because I can tell you right now, my Owl team, I kill 1 Axie, 2 Clovers, spawn in its place. I'm gonna be annoyed. I will be annoyed. If I don't have an AoE card to clear out the entire thing, I will be annoyed.
Clear out AoE because Clover needs to...
Yeah, so like teams that have strong single hit, like Rage or Anemone,
Topaz.
or I mean Topaz has overkill. Topaz has overkill now, so they can hit through it. But you know, other stuff like Sandal and those other classes, they're gonna be annoyed. I can tell you right now. I'm already annoyed just looking at this. So this might actually, because if you can guarantee the 2 on Epic, this might actually be a thing. Right? When you kill summons, 10% of this Axie's HP is dealt as damage. Right? This is gonna be annoying as heck. This, like, summon comps in Epic might become... there might be more of them. Just because this exists. Right? So, like, I guess I can just make this, right?
Maybe it's a summon team, right? Clover and maybe it's hand in hand.
Summon. Yeah, let's just make a new category, right? Put them down over here. Mavis. I mean, it's effectively a summon team, but they don't necessarily always use the Destiny Leaf, right? But specifically in Mystic, I guess nothing really changed for them, right? Poison. Okay, now this is big. Venoki rune getting nerfed. Okay, so before, Venoki was a discount Venomaster. Now it's a discount Poison Touch. And that is infinitely worse than what it was. They made it so bad that people are getting angry about Poison.
It's a starter rune, right?
It's a starter rune, so yes, it shouldn't have been that strong in the first place.
Like, people are using a starter rune in Epic, bro. It is so strong. You get
That's actually true.
Poison in like round 2.
It had no business being that strong as a starter rune. Yeah, it's not that it's... Okay, so Poison got nerfed bad. Let's go over to the Poison change first, and then we'll go over to Sleep Poison. Okay, so the reason everyone is saying that the Poison got nerfed was because of Venoki change. Venoki change made it so that it, instead of being a discount Venom Master, because every time you use a card, you apply poison as well, right? And you, at the start of the turn, you also apply poison, right? For every 2 energy you use, for every energy you use, you apply 2 poison. That is on top of the poison that your card does. So even if your card doesn't apply poison, for example, if you use a, I don't know, like what would you say, like a tiny turtle, for example, you still apply 2 poison, right? Which is weird. So now they nerfed it so that it's a discount poison touch. Whenever hit, apply 1 poison to the attacker, bonus 1 poison for a single attack. Take 0.5% less damage per poison on the attacker, cap at 15%. So it's incredibly worse, but I wouldn't say it's end of the world. Before Venoki's poison rune, people were using like double poison touch.
Don't forget, some poison they use Sloppy Scoundrel, bro.
That is true.
Sloppy Scoundrel is big nerf.
It's also nerf.
Because I think normal poison use it too because of what's it called? Silent Whisper, right? Yeah. They use it just to like counter it a bit.
Anyway, okay, so Sloppy Scoundrel. What this little text change here, this whenever targeted by an enemy Axie, is such a huge change. So before, any card used by the enemy Axie will trigger Sloppy Scoundrel. Literally any card used will trigger Sloppy Scoundrel. Now, the card has to explicitly target the rune holder for the rune to take effect. Now, that's a difference from everyone in the team getting alerted or getting stolen energy, heal, and shield from, into 1 out of 3 chance of this rune triggering. It's a huge nerf. It's a neutral rare rune. There was no reason for it to be this good and to be that good in the first place, you know? So when you get to epic, replace it with a Moonlight Thief, which is what it was before, but in rare, it's definitely a lot weaker. So that is why we put sleep. We put poison in the nerf pile. Okay, now sleep poison. Rosa got nerfed. Rosa got nerfed, so from 3 sleep it now applies 2. And then for Rosa Evolved, instead of directly applying 2 or 3, instead of directly applying 3, it can now maybe apply 3. Now, the reason this is a big nerf for them, especially the lower version, is that one sleep is very easy to remove. If you have any form of cleanse. So the way cleanse works now. Yeah, exactly. So the way cleanse works is that if you have 3 debuffs, the cleanse will go cycle through each one of them and remove 1 of each debuff.
No, it does not cycle across. It does not.
It does. Random. Yeah, but no, it's more likely to remove one from each. It's still random, but it's very likely to remove 1 from each. Okay, so if you only have 1 sleep at the start of your turn, because it only has 2 sleep, so 2 sleep and then the poison team's turn ends, it goes to 1. 1 is infinitely easier to remove than it is to remove 2, because if you have 2 and you have 3 other debuffs, there's a chance it won't get removed, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a level 1 Rosa, you won't be given a chance to use Watermelon on the next turn. So you hit Rosa, you have to Watermelon on that turn or the sleep is gone. Right? Yeah. And that also applies to this. Like if you hit a 2, you cannot Watermelon on the next turn. You have to Watermelon on the same turn as you do a Rosa. And very few poison teams actually do that. They want to use, after they use their Rosa, they want to use their other cards like a Freezer, like a Green Thorns, like a Frill, like many other cards that they can use. Now, that is not available to them anymore. And I think that's a good thing. Because, poison has been... they haven't been nerfed in a while. So, poison getting nerfed is, just a very, very slight nerf. Like, this affects sleep poison more than it affects poison. Because a poison team can have a Rosa, but it's not their primary focus, right? So they will get affected, but it's not as bad as like a team that actually focuses more on poison. So what does this change? Instead of using Rosa literally every single turn that they have it available, they might have to opt for using a potato leaf instead to protect someone, or they might have to use more poisons to be more aggressive. Like, Rosa is not, oh, I see Rosa, it's initial, here we go, click. It's not going to be that simple anymore, right? So I think this is a good change because, yeah, poison needs to be toned down, sleep poison in particular, right? The change won't really affect teams that, like, the teams that Sleep Poi is good against, they will have a slightly better chance. But the teams that can already handle Sleep Poi very well will not be affected. Like, it's even better for them. So, yeah. Turnip. Did anything change for Turnip teams? I guess we can change this to Jarnip to make it more relevant, right? Jarnip got changed. Is it a nerf? Is it a buff? I still don't know.
Nerf. Let's not talk about the Jarpers. We talk about Sloppy Scoundrel, boy. The Sloppy Scoundrel for Jar is also a nerf. Big nerf, bro.
We're talking about Jarnip. Now, Turnip itself did not get changed. The nerf happened in Season 11, like one less turn, which makes it more manageable, which makes it more easier to manage. But the bigger change right now is this. So, instead of 6 turns, so after you use a Snake Jar, before Snake Jar, wait 3 turns, you deal damage. Now, if your unit doesn't die in 10 turns, deal damage to all enemies equal to Snake Jar's value. When attack, reduce turn countdown by 1. So what this effectively means is that you can't just put Snake Jar on your mid, which is a safe axie, wait 3 turns and it explodes. Right? Now, they even mention it here in the patch notes. We have tweaked its mechanics to further emphasize the high risk, high reward concept. We hope our players will discover new ways to optimize this card. So, it's changed by a lot. It's changed by a lot. So instead of putting Snake Jars on your mid, which is the safe axie, wait 3 turns, and then you probably will win. Now you have to put it on the axie that will get hit, so that you can speed up the explosion. Now you have to risk your axie that has a Snake Jar, risk it getting hit, and it has to be hit multiple times so that your Snake Jar will explode. Yeah, tank Snake Jar might become a thing. Like, I can see it working with runes like, you put it on your Plague Bearer. Because whenever Plague Bearer gets hit, they put debuffs on the enemy team, or it has reduced damage. You can put it on something like a Beast and have a Pangolin scale. You know, the rune that everyone forgot for like 5 seasons, right? Steel Skin rune, exactly. Thank you for pointing that out, Big Niece. That is also a possibility. Like, you put it on your Steel Skin Axie in rare so that it has reduced 10 damage per hit, right? And you still get the benefit of the Snake Jar. So this completely changes the entire concept of a Jarnip team, right? Now you can also trigger it yourself by using cards like Incisor and Gecko. Explosion damage, did anything actually change for Jar?
Yep.
Damage to all, and 1.5x. Now it's just what the value was.
The big nerf.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Thank you for pointing it out. I mean, always been hit all. Multi-attacks makes the explosion. That is true. Under effect. So, no. They actually buffed the base value of the card. Like, initially it was just 50, right? Now it's 70. And then at level 2, it's now 80. So, base 80 damage for Snake Jar. And if you have stuff that multiplies the base value, like a Holy Prayer or Pure Instinct, this Pure Skill, there you go, Pure Skill. Like, if you have stuff like Pure Skill that can upgrade the value of the card, right, this will go up even more. But overall, Snake Jar has been nerfed, because if you play a second Snake Jar, it only applies 75% of the base shield. So big nerf Snake Jar. Maybe it got over nerfed, I'm not sure. Maybe they changed this to like 80% in the future, but we'll have to figure that out first. Like, if all Snake Jar teams just disappear off of the map, we're going to see a change for this, right? But as of right now, this is nerfed. We forgot one more team that needs to be here. Spike teams got changed.
Might be a nerf.
I think it's a buff, dude. I think it's a buff. Is it status? There you go.
Okay, you see, after taking 50 damage or HP loss from any source, right? 50 damage, is it cumulative? If
it's cumulative.
49 damage.
It's cumulative.
Really?
Yes, it's
Is it written
cumulative.
there?
Yeah, it's cumulative. It's confirmed by Jatster.
And then or any HP loss, right? So basically, if you gecko and you put the venom, rune, right? The venom poison rune, you put it on yourself. The poison, right? So basically, you consume the spikes, right? And then you can't gecko anymore to consume spikes now.
That is true.
So you need to put the rune to consume it. The one that applies poison to yourself.
Okay, you're looking at this from a self trigger perspective, right?
You won't trigger it.
Yeah.
It's like still 20 more damage
I think
to trigger it actually.
Yeah. But you're thinking about this from the current meta, like self-trigger spikes, use your own abilities to trigger your own spikes, right? But I think that's a bad way to look at it. Because now that anything can trigger it, HP loss, any damage source. So if you get hit by, because
so you won't auto lose to poison anymore.
Yeah, you won't auto lose to poison. You won't auto lose to bulwark. You won't auto lose to metamorphosis. It's not an auto lose to healing pulse. Like healing pulse actually will trigger spikes now. Can you imagine that? Having a Mavis on the enemy team will trigger spikes now after they trigger. HP loss doesn't trigger on shield loss. It says damage. So hitting into shields is also still damage. So it will still trigger from there. So spikes will, I don't know if they'll make a resurgence, but they're definitely going to be interesting, at least for a while. We'll find out if someone can cook a strong spike team. There's also this card that got buffed. We were talking about it earlier, the Incisor. Okay, so we're finally back here. So Incisor, what it does is that you do this. It has a very tiny base damage. Now it's down to 15, but this is actually a buff because you do less damage to your own allies. And then this damage, so before it was 45 plus 20, so it essentially did 65 on level 1. Now it does 60 plus 15, so it's 75 damage on level 1. And then on level 2, it's still 75. But the difference is you also apply shield to your allies if you hit an ally with it. Right? Yeah. So this ties in with the jar, with the jar change. So you put jar on one axis, hit it with an incisor, you apply spikes, you give it 60 shield. So that's what it's going to be going forward. Now, will every single team run it? No, because you still need a guard somewhere, right? So you still will need your Sarastes on a different guy somewhere else. Hermit, yes, that is also possible. And there's so many options, like all of the, like you can have a Hatsune on top of it, you can have a Kingfisher, you can put a pumpkin, you can put, I mean, we already talked about Scaly Spoon. There's so many secrets now that are so good, right? There's so many changes that can be done for shield teams, jar teams, spike teams. Meta tank team, maybe. I'm sure someone will cook something really, really nice for this. I'm sure people will cook some really good stuff. There's a lot of defensive options in the game, and I think it's a good balance. I like the direction the game is going. All right, final thoughts. I think we went through everything, right? Oh, you're right, Rage. I completely forgot about Rage. Nothing changed for Rage, right? Nothing changed for Rage. Goo, you mean Goo? I don't think anything changed for Goo, right? I mean, they did, but nothing for Goo specifically. Nuts, did anything change for Nuts? Nothing changed for Nuts. What else? Sturdy Fighter. Oh, we didn't talk about Sturdy Fighter. I mean, it's buff. Sturdy Bug. Let's put it in. All right, Sturdy Bug. Right, Sturdy Bug is in here. What else did we miss? Moonlight Thief. What happened to Moonlight Thief? When your turn, steal one fragment. Oh, it's one less HP steal. This is
still not that much. Actually, as cunning increases, it still increases, so it doesn't matter.
Let's do a quick review. Swirl level 1 is not always into enemy draw, so this is slight nerf. Confusion level 1 is also a slight nerf. Rosa we talked about, Snake Jar we talked about, Shrimp now applies 3 taunts, so this applies mostly to Leafy teams. Peacemaker got buff. I mean, no one, it doesn't exist because it's so weak, but maybe it will exist now. Peacemaker weak teams got buffed. They might exist, maybe, we don't know. Hungry Bird Fluff. Hungry Bird is now purified too. That's interesting. Not that anyone uses it. Maybe it might become a usable card. This got slightly buffed. Like fragile teams got plus 5 damage. Dual blade we talked about it in bleed, so this is good. so thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Season 12 Patch Notes review by Grars, Skillless Gamers, and Chat. You guys are awesome. And Davi, and Annihilator. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed the bathtub stream. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.